In Matthew 8:24 through 27, it says, "Suddenly a furious storm came up on the lake, so that the waves swept over the boat, but Jesus was sleeping. The disciples went and woke him, saying, 'Lord, save us, we're going to drown.' He replied, 'You of little faith, why are you so afraid?' Then he got up and rebuked the winds and the waves, and it was completely calm. The men were amazed and asked, 'What kind of man is this? Even the winds and the waves obey him.'" So, hi everyone. My name is Natalia Esquivel if you're new here. In today's video, I wanted to share you a little recipe that I do when it comes to rainy days, as of the ones that you guys just saw. It was a big storm that we went through in Jersey this couple of weeks, and due to the tornado in Florida. Thankfully, everybody's okay. Our family is okay as well. But it was very raining and with lots and lots of thunder. So it got me thinking when it comes to God's provision during the storms, God's provision during the worry. And whenever we're so afraid of things happening, He always gets up and He says, "Why are we with so little faith?" So I just wanted to share with you guys first the recipe, and then I will move on to talk a little bit more about what faith has to do with stormy days, what faith has to do in our life when it comes to days like this where you're doubting, your mind is a storm, and you're just wondering, who's going to save us? Jesus, wake up and save us. So let's move on to the recipe. As you guys can see, this recipe consists of 3 or 4 carrots, half a cup and maybe 1 full cup of vegetable oil, 3 eggs, 2 spoons of baking powder, flour. I like to use about 3 to 4 cups of flour. It depends on you, but in my recipe it works perfectly. 1 cup of sugar. I usually use the sugarcane sugar, the pure one, organic, but I only had that one, and that's what I decided to bake with. I don't like bleached sugar at all, but it is what it is. I had to use it today. So it's very simple. This recipe, it's super fast. You won't make a mistake actually. You won't be able to make a mistake, so I was gonna say, because it's that simple. You see me using that same cup over and over because I use that glass cup for everything when it comes to measurements. I like to separate, a cup that I use for my measurements. So I blend everything together, the oil, the eggs, and the carrots, and the sugar in the blender, and then it is that consistent. You will not have to add anything else because it's gonna be a little thick, more, compared to other cake batter. That's the consistency. So with the flour, I'm using an organic King's Charles. You guys know I love that flour. It's the blue one. It's for my bread. I love this flour. It's perfect. It's not heavy on you. So I'm just, thinning everything out and just adding everything to my bowl. I thrifted this bowl, guys, and I'm so in love with this bowl. And I forgot to make a video on it, but this is like my favorite bowl when it comes to baking and making things. It's just perfect. So as you guys can see, I'm adding the baking powder. I'm doing 2 full spoons. This is not my usual typical baking powder that I use. I use another Royal, the brand Royal, but it's a Brazilian brand. But in this case, that's what I had, and it works the same way. So it's just a preference. So I'm mixing that in the flour before I add my mix. And as you guys can see, it will be very a thick consistency, and that's totally okay. In this specific video and this recipe, I did add a little bit of oil. You can do that as well to get a more, maybe a little bit more moist, for your cake to be a little more moisty. You don't have to, but it works out perfectly. 1 cup of oil or just half. It's up to you. And I usually don't like to cook with vegetable oil. I'm cooking with olive oils in most of the cases, but olive oils will not taste good on cake. So I do it, in order for me to bake, I need to use oil. So I'm just mixing everything together, and I already set up my oven to 350, maybe 355, depending on where you are. I like my preference 350, 360, and it doesn't matter. You're just gonna keep watching. It's gonna go for about maybe 30 minutes. Again, just keep on watching, and you can stick, a little toothpick, or if you don't have a toothpick like me in the house, I just use a fork just to test it out. If it comes out dry, then your cake is ready, and you can tell by the look of it when it's already like dry up on in the top, so it's perfect. So I'm just checking here the consistency, and if it's good, I am tasting it to see if it's good with sugar. Like I said, I don't like putting too much sugar, and my carrots were a little bitter, so it did give a little bit of a bitter taste, but it's carrots, so it doesn't taste too much like, horrible. I love the taste of carrots. If you don't like carrot cakes, then this cake is not for you. But at the end, you will see what I did to it and what I actually do in our country. In Brazil, we cover it with chocolate, so it's delicious. Here, I'm literally filling the pan with flour, so it's not sticking. This is a little method I do, and that's my favorite thing to do. And that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna let you guys see everything, and then we'll move on.
Look at mommy. All right. Ready? Don't do it anymore because we gotta put that, okay? All right, hold on. Stay on the other side. Ready? Careful. Good? Yeah. Now do this, look. We're gonna come this way and scrape it like that. Good. Good? Can I finish the rest?
Painting, yeah.
You're good. Okay. Oh, careful. Good job. Thank you.
And here you guys can see that everything is ready to go, and like I said, my oven is ready, and I'm just adding it and watching it for maybe around 30 minutes. And you guys can check with the fork, as I mentioned. And here I'm just giving a little bit of a cleanup meanwhile, because I cannot stay still. I need to have my kitchen beautiful again every time I cook. So as I was mentioning, when it comes to faith and wondering what happens when you are afraid of the waters, afraid of the storm, it's unbelievable how we doubt so much when we cannot see things, happening at the way we expect them to happen. So when stormy days are here, we always wonder, what could be happening, why Jesus is not awake to save us, like it's a metaphor, but it's actually the truth. But remember, nothing happens if it's not meant to happen, and it will happen in its time. And it requires us to have faith. We need to have more faith and believe that everything is working according to plan. So make sure you keep your faith up and do not give up, because God is perfect, and it doesn't matter the difficulty and the hardship, there's always a rainbow after the storm. Remember that. So here I'm just mixing the chocolate cover, and it is 2 spoons of butter. It's maybe about 2 to 4 spoons of milk, chocolate powder. You can add Hershey's, or you can add just regular Nesquik chocolate powder. I didn't add sugar because it would be too sugary. That's the consistency. You'll have to let it boil, and it will give you that, that consistency. It's really, it has to be thick. It doesn't have to be too thin because it won't cover the cake. So I let my cake out a little bit and let it cool off a little bit, and I'm just pouring everything and just mixing and covering the cake completely in chocolate. It's super simple, guys. I know it seems probably complicated, but it's just a matter of practice, and you guys will love this recipe. Your kids will enjoy so much eating this. It's not very high on sugar, so you guys can actually lower everything that with the recipe I gave you. I will link everything on the description down below. So it's our favorite here at the house. So I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe, and it's my favorite, my husband's favorite, my daughter's favorite. So it's just a perfect thing to do on stormy days. And again, when the storms hits you, and you're wondering, are we going to be okay? Is Jesus going to come and wake up and save us? Don't have so little faith. Believe that, we are dependable on the one that can calm waters with one word, yes. But also, God always requires us to also stand up and have faith and fight and never give up. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. That's the delicious cake, as you guys can see, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like recipes like this, you can let me know in the comments down below if you would like me to do more of these recipes. These homemade recipes that I have, that's my favorite one so far. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.